The all-new Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
It's been about a year since Luigi Magione allegedly assassinated UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan. The 27-year-old is due in court today for a multi-day hearing that could determine the balance of evidence in the state murder trial. Now, he's charged, Holly, with both state and federal charges as a result of his conduct there. ABC's Allison Kosik has the details about the hearing that's starting today and could go actually 2 days.
His attorneys want a judge to throw out a laundry list of evidence, including statements he made to police after his arrest. His attorneys claim Mangione was not read his Miranda rights until 17 minutes after police started questioning him. His lawyers also claim the search of a backpack seized during his arrest was illegal, conducted without a warrant.
So tell me what this means.
Okay, so what happened was this. After the homicide, he was a person of interest, obviously, right. And there was a manhunt for him. He was found in of all places, a McDonald's. Mm-hmm. Authorities there got to him and talked to him, and during the course of that, they interviewed him. And it's important because he's claiming that he was not read his Miranda rights. Without getting into the weeds too much, Miranda has to be given. A person has to be given their Miranda rights when two things are occurring. And
that's, you have the right to remain silent, right?
Exactly, right. You have to be told what your Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights are under the Constitution. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. And if you can't afford one will be appointed for you. You don't have to be told your Miranda rights unless you are in custody and you are being interrogated. It's called custodial interrogation. When those two factors are in play, Miranda has to be given. So he's in a McDonald's, probably not in custody, but he's surrounded by about a dozen agents, so he's not going anywhere.
Right.
So custody basically means, are you free to leave? Would a reasonable person in your situation think you could get up and walk away? And if he's thinking, because of the mob that's around him, I shouldn't call him a mob, the agents that are around him, if he's not free to leave, maybe they should have given him Miranda. Was he being interrogated about the situation? Certainly wasn't being asked about his Happy Meal. I mean, he's there and he's being questioned. So he's claiming that they talked to him.
Well, his attorneys are, right?
Right, yeah. That his attorneys are claiming that they sort of bantered with him for 17 minutes, and then they gave him Miranda. They decided, okay, we need to read him his Miranda rights, and then whatever happens after that is fine because he's given Miranda. But what his statements before he was given his Miranda rights are now under jeopardy. They're under question whether or not they can be admitted at his trial. So there's a hearing. This is a hearing on what we call a motion to suppress. His lawyers have filed a motion saying, and we'll get to the second part of this, his statements that were given before he was read Miranda, but after he was clearly in custody, not free to leave, should be stricken. And he made a lot of statements about, they found a lot of things, and he made a lot of statements prior to that time. They also found a backpack while he was there, and they were searching the backpack.
So did they ask permission, or?
No, they didn't.
They just started searching.
Right.
Okay.
And importantly, they didn't have a warrant. So like if you've got your backpack or your briefcase or purse and an officer wants to look at it, they can't do that except under what we call exigent circumstances. There's some real emergency reason. Otherwise, go get a warrant. It's not that hard to do. They didn't get a warrant. One of the officers that was there that was searching it said, well, my exigent circumstance, my emergency, the reason I had to look into it before I had a warrant was because I thought there might be a bomb in it. I was fearful that for us. Mm-hmm. And that would be a justification for searching a backpack without a warrant.
Yeah.
But the lawyers are saying, why did you think that? I mean, there's nothing about this case that has anything to do with a bomb or something like that. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So they're saying he should be able to get this information thrown out. Now, I mean, there's certainly a broader case than just the backpack and the statement. I mean, you said at the outset, there's a video. We have a video of him.
Right. Coming up behind the CEO and shooting him in the head is what it looks like.
Right. So when you try a case, and I was a prosecutor for 8 years, you have your evidence and you put it together like a puzzle. One piece would be his statement. One piece would be his backpack. One piece would be the videotape. One piece would be information that was found pursuant to a warrant. But some of these pieces are now at jeopardy whether they can be admitted at trial. It doesn't mean the trial won't go. It just means the government's case won't be quite as strong as it was before.
So my understanding is in the backpack they found the gun that they think was used. It's a 3D printed gun. And they also found his journals where he had written something about the murder that he was going to commit, allegedly.
Pretty damning evidence.
Yeah.
Stuff that's going to be really critical to the government's case, or at least very, very important to the government's case. The government has already suffered a huge blow in this case because when they originally charged it, they discharged it as a first-degree murder based on domestic terrorism. The judge threw it out and said, there's no reason to think this is domestic terrorism. This is just
one targeted murder.
Yeah, this is a guy that's... So the judge threw out the first-degree murder charges and left the second degree, because murder is still murder.
Right. But
when you do it for an inappropriate reason, because of domestic terrorism, that was a better definition, then it becomes a first-degree felony. So he's already won a significant battle. He's still facing life in prison, just not facing the death penalty. And now he's saying, well, I should also have some of my evidence thrown out. So the government's case could continue to get weaker and weaker depending on what happens here. And this is a hearing. It's an evidentiary hearing. Witnesses will testify. The judge will hear evidence, and the judge will decide what evidence can still come in and what can't. And, of course, these are the things that will be appealed to the appeals courts, Supreme Court, whatever, for years.
Look, I have this article I wanted to tell you about. This is in the Wall Street Journal this morning. It was not published too long ago. And the headline is Billboards, Donations, and 6,000 Letters, Why Luigi Mangione Fans Won't Quit. So he has a tremendous amount of support, including a digital billboard that will be outside the courthouse today that has a 32-year-old who had both legs amputated, and he blames UnitedHealthcare. One leg amputated, and he blames UnitedHealthcare. So, I mean, I find it disturbing to say that people are celebrating the murder of the head of a company. We should not celebrate murder. This is not right.
No, and he did it because of problems that we have that he perceived with the insurance industry and insurance companies and that particular one. And, of course, the public can say, well, we've all had a bad experience with an insurance company. But I agree with you. Absolutely. That doesn't mean you take something like this. He's also...
And celebrate it.
He's also... let's face it, sort of a pretty boy. He dresses up in court. He always has his nice look about him, and he's got a little bit of a fan base. He's raising money, like you say, because of the two things. One, he's appealing, and second, his cause was a little bit appealing to some Americans who might think that they've been treated poorly by insurance companies.
Yes.
The government doesn't care about that, and the jury's not going to be told to take that into account.
I do understand that, and I agree with your point that we probably all do have health insurance company horror stories. I'm sorry, health insurance companies, but do better. But it does not justify this level of support. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, it is. It is odd sometimes. You see some people that get support, and in ways that you wonder, it's an allegation that he committed murder, but there's a pretty compelling video.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
And people are still going, well, I want to help him out. For what reason?